So yeah, let's start in a seated position. And just be comfortable. You can be cross-legged, you can be on your ankles. It's anywhere that's comfortable. And just have your spine be nice and straight. So your sit bones are rooted onto the mat. And I heard this cue that was interesting to me. So feeling both your sit bones and your pubic bone as like a triangle flat on your mat, and feeling that become like wider, and like so you're very like spread and grounded through your seat. If that makes sense at all. And then also feeling the triangle from both of your hip points and the pubic bone, and feeling that expanding and getting wider. And feeling the navel gently tug into the spine, just finding more support for your lower back. Broadness across the collarbones, feeling the space between both collarbones and the sternum, and that space becoming wider, more spread and relaxed. The chin is just slightly tucked so that your neck feels nice and long, a continuation of the spine. Your head is over the heart, which is over the hips. Take a big cleansing breath. Inhaling, filling up. And exhale, sigh it out, release it all out. The shoulders drop. Let the forehead soften. Let the jaw relax. And if you need to take some more big cleansing breaths, go ahead and do so. Filling up and sighing out as much as you need to do. And then whenever you're ready, you're welcome to just let your breath be how it is and let yourself settle into this position. Accepting the fact that we're starting this practice. Calling all your energy back to you, away from external thoughts, external demands. Just giving yourself this time. This time is for you. It's for you to recharge, for you to come back to yourself. At any point, you can activate your Ujjayi breath, that slight restriction in the back of your throat. And then we'll start today with our neck. So whenever you're ready, you can exhale and let your left ear fall to the left shoulder. Or whatever side. And we'll just take a few big breaths here. And then you can start to reach your right hand down and away to really continue this stretch down the arm, or your opposite hand, whatever side you're on. And just really see, even with your eyes closed, imagine the space between your ear and your fingertips. They're both reaching in opposite directions. So you're not really focusing on the space in between. That's where the sensations are. But you're focusing on reaching the fingertips in one direction and reaching your ear in the opposite direction. And that will increase that sensation. Maybe try like flipping your wrist, like rotating your hand, your palm to face up, rotating your palm to face back and away and down. And noticing how that changes everything too. And then for the last few breaths, if you want to go a little deeper, you can bring your left hand on top of your head near the right ear. So and not pulling it in any way, but just letting the weight of your hand increase this a little bit. Let's take 3 more big breaths. Each time that you exhale, feeling the space just soften and surrender to the stretch a little bit more. Once more. So now you can release your head and just bring your chin down toward your chest so that your nose is kind of over your hip. So you feel the stretch down the back, right side of your neck. And then you can bring it down to the center. Chin at the center, feeling it down the back of the neck. And then go ahead, roll the right ear over to the right shoulder and do this on the other side. So let's take about 4 breaths just like this. Noticing the difference on the sides. Usually one side, especially on the neck, feels a lot different just by the way we sleep. And then you can start to reach your left fingertips down and away. And again, focusing on the fingers and the ear pulling or reaching in opposite directions. And on your exhales, you reach a little bit more. Let's do 2 more breaths just like this. And then you can go ahead and bring your right hand on top of the head near the left ear, just to add a little weight, increase this on this side. And each time you inhale, you can imagine this area being energized. And each time you exhale, just imagine that breath, that energetic breath, dispersing and spreading and softening. Let's do 3 more breaths. And then you can go ahead and gently release the head. Again, bring your nose to be in line with your hip so that you're looking down a little bit, getting it down the back left side. And then let's add some more movement. So you can just start with your neck rolls. So you can move slowly if you'd like. You can move a little bit quicker if you'd like. And we'll just start going in one direction. And you can focus on your chin if you would like. You can let the circle be originating from your chin, making big circles. Or you can focus more on the ears. So you can focus on bringing your left ear to the left shoulder, maybe bringing it back and around if that feels okay, and then the ear to the shoulder, and then chin to chest. Or if there's another way that makes more sense to you, focusing on it that way. And then you can go ahead and switch directions if you haven't already. And when you're bringing your head back, if you don't get any pinching sensations, I find it helpful to focus more on lifting my chin away from the sternum rather than throwing my head back, because sometimes that can create all these bad feelings in the back of my neck. So I think when you're lifting the chin away from the sternum, it's more secure, or feels more secure for me. Awesome. So you can go ahead, bring your head back to center, and just pause for just a moment and observe the neck. Notice how this feels now. And then you can inhale, reach your arms up nice and high, feeling into the side bodies. And your palms can be facing each other. That feels right. And notice if the ribs are flaring out. So if you can knit the bottom of the ribs back under. And then bring your biceps alongside the ears a little bit more, feeling how that intensifies everything. As you inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears like you were going to yawn. And then as you exhale, let the shoulders relax. Let's do that 3 more times. Shrug them up as you inhale, reaching higher. Exhale to relax. Twice more on your own. And now we'll just grab opposite elbows with them above your head. It doesn't matter which side you're on, because we'll switch. And then as you inhale, let's do the same thing. So bring your shoulders up to your ears, and then also bring your biceps back alongside the ears. And then exhale and release. Twice more like that. And remembering about your lower back too. So keeping your navel slightly pulled in, supporting your lower back, your bottom ribs pulled in. And then go ahead and switch the arms. So grabbing the other elbow is perfect. And do it again 3 times. Arms are probably feeling tired now. That's what we want. Once more. And then when you're done, you can reach the fingers back up, and then with control and slowly bring them down to your side. So you feel that air resistance with purpose. As you inhale, reach your left arm up. As you exhale, start to bend over to the right, and deeper to the side bodies. Really notice the space from the left hip through the fingertips, and feel that hip and fingertips reaching in opposite directions. But at the same time, you can notice that the lower belly is pulled in. The left body is still staying long. You don't want to crunch too much into the left body, or the right body, sorry. So both side bodies are staying long, but you're focusing more on stretching the left side. Great. So one more breath. Inhale to get long. Exhale to reach further. And inhale, come back up to center. Release the left hand. Pause. And then we'll inhale, reach right arm up. Exhale, bend over to the left. Oh yeah. The same thing over here. You can focus on finding more length in the spine on your inhales, bending a little bit deeper on your exhales. And paying attention to your lower belly, paying attention to the left side body as well, not crunching in too deeply, keeping length throughout the whole body. Feeling the space between the right hip and the lower right ribs getting longer, giving the organs big space to breathe. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, reach back up. Let's reach both arms up this time. And then exhale, hands come down in front of the shins, and you can roll over the ankles or kick the feet back behind you, and we'll come into table. You can spread your fingers super wide so you feel the skin in between the fingers stretching. And your wrist creases are parallel to the front edge of your mat. Root down in the base of your thumb, the base of your pointer, and the base of your pinky a little bit extra, and the tips of each finger. When you look back between the legs, your toes are hidden behind the thighs, and you're pressing down slightly in the tops of the feet, feeling how that engages the core. And then as you inhale, you can allow the belly to drop down, lift the tailbone, lift the head, and the chin away from the sternum to your cow pose. We'll stay here a few breaths. So let your arms be really straight. Feel as if your heart could pull through, forward and through your biceps. Your lower belly is still staying slightly engaged, so you don't put too much pressure in your lower back. And you're reaching up through the space in between your sit bones. And yeah, as you exhale, you can curl back to your cat pose. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin to your chest. Really lift the back of your heart. Breathe into the back body. For 2 more breaths like this. Maybe engaging in the feet as well, just pushing the ground away from you, everything you can. Inhale, drop your belly, lift the gaze, cow pose. And exhale, push it back to cat pose. And really pushing until you feel your back stretching. And then you can start to move with your own breath. Move at your own pace. Maybe staying with this slower and more intentional cat-cows, or maybe letting the movement be more free. You can do some wagging of your tail. You can do some circles. You can do some, literally whatever. So for the next about 10 breaths, just allow your eyes to close, allow your spine to move however it would like to move. And starting to tune into the fluid that's moving around your spine, really warming up the entire spinal cord, which is going to help us throughout the entire practice, just to awaken all the nerve endings there, get all the blood flowing, and connecting this movement with your breath always. And then once you are feeling nice and warm, you can always keep moving if you would like to. Whenever you're done, you can come back to just your neutral tabletop, and you'll tuck the toes under. And we're just going to start doing a little bit of core work. So as you inhale, start to bring your knees up to hover off the mat. So you're just in your regular tabletop without your knees on the floor. Really pull in your lower belly to the spine. Perfect. Perfect. So you want to look exactly like you're in table, just with the knees hovering. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly lower the knees back down. Now we'll do that one breath per movement. So as you inhale, bring the knees to hover. As you exhale, release. Or if the other way of breathing makes more sense, if you want to exhale to hover, inhale to release, that can work too. Just do it 3 more times. It might make more sense to exhale and release. To exhale and hover. Great. So you can come back to your tabletop now. You can untuck the toes and extend your right leg back behind you. You can keep the toes on the ground for a few moments to get settled here. And then you can start to walk your left fingertips forward. So that everything's still on the ground, but you're just starting to feel what it would feel like if your left hand and your right foot weren't on the mat. So really press down in the top of your left foot, or you can tuck the toes under. You might have more stability there. If you tuck, you can just try it out. And then really be intentional in your right hand, the right shoulder, and feel your right collarbone becoming broader, but also the strength in your shoulder blade. And then when you're ready, you can bring your opposite limbs to hover off the mat, and then bringing them to be in line with your torso. So your left ear or your left bicep go up alongside the left ear, and your right foot is in line with the right hip. Awesome. So when you're ready, you can start to do some crunches. So you can imagine a cat spine. So as you inhale, you reach. As you exhale, you crunch into the cat spine. Perfect. So you can do that 5 times. It'll be a little bit more difficult the slower that you move, but it can be a little bit more invigorating the faster you move. So really whatever you want. Whatever feels better to you right now. Just keeping it linked with your breath. Noticing how you probably feel this a bit more than expected in your left hip or your left glute. That's not the one that's moving. Great. Now when you're finished, you can come back down to your tabletop. You can release the opposite limbs. And let's turn onto the back of your right hand. You can turn onto the backs of both hands if you want, but we'll just give the wrists a little break. That can be tough on the wrist. And you always have the option to do anything on your fists too, because then that gives the wrist a break from not being so bent. So when you're ready, let's do that on the other side. So you can start with coming to your table, just extending the left foot and reaching the right arm forward, walking the right fingertips forward, and just paying attention to how it feels, just like that. And then feel the right fingertip and the left foot reaching further away from each other. And when you're ready, you can bring them up to hover, and then bring them in line with the rest of your body. And really focusing on your lower belly here, not letting too much of an arch form in your lower back, keeping that core super engaged. And then you can exhale and crunch in. So do that 5 times on this side. And this is a good opportunity to practice letting your breath come first. It's very easy to exhale and then or to crunch as you exhale. But see if you can just let your inhale come, and that's what extends your limbs, and then let your exhale come, and that's what crunches you in. It's pretty tricky to really let the breath come first. You can practice always. And then whenever you're finished with your 5 rounds, you can meet back in a tabletop. You can flip your wrists over, maybe sit the hips back toward the heels. And yeah, we can take a child's pose for a few breaths if you want. Just reset for the next 3 breaths. Let the jaw release, let the forehead soften, let the shoulders relax. Maybe remind yourself of any intentions. And then when you're ready, you can reach the fingertips forward, activate the hands into the mat, and pull yourself up to your top. You can leave your hips where they are, walk the hands forward, melt the heart down, puppy pose. Get more into the chest. Release the front of your heart. Again, reaching the energy up through the space in between your sit bones. Letting your sit bones lifting. Your sit bones are the highest point in the body. Awesome. And then you can start to tuck the navel in and rock your hands back. This time we'll do it so that you're in a modified plank. So you're if you were to tuck your toes under and be in a plank, and then just let your knees come down. So your knees are going to be behind your hips. Yeah, perfect. So I want to try this thing, knees, chest, chin, that you might like, just as an option. So your hands are in your tabletop or your strong plank, and you're going to bend the elbows alongside the ribs and bring your chest down first. So it's knees, chest, and chin. So your chest comes and then your chin comes. So your butt's off the mat. Yeah, and then from here, you bring your pubic bone to the ground as you lift your heart up, baby cobra. This is another way to do a flow that you might enjoy. And then you can exhale, push yourself up either through a plank or through your table. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Maybe side out, maybe let some big exhales out. First down dog. Finding as much movement as you want, as little movement as you want. Just focusing on all the little parts of the pose. Your hands are basically the same as they were in tabletop. Active hands, wrist creases parallel to the front of the mat. Energy is still reaching up through the space in between the sit bones. So you're really focusing on getting your spine as long as possible. And you can bend the knees for a moment and then lift your sit bones a little bit higher. And then you can always keep the knees bent like this, or you could start to walk out your dog and let your heels reach the mat. But focus on feeling, you can relax the neck and then feel the space, feel your collarbones broaden just as much as your shoulder blades. Your armpits feeling like they're facing each other, or like they could face each other, with your heart reaching toward your thighs. Perfect. All right, 3 more breaths in your down dog. And then you can bend the knees, look up toward the top of your mat, and start to walk your feet to meet your hands. Halfway lift as you inhale, long tabletop side. Exhale, forward fold. You can grab your big toes with your peace fingers and bend your elbows out to the side so that you pull yourself a little bit closer to the feet, and that really stretches out the spine more, relaxing the head as you do so. And obviously, yeah, knees bent as much as they need to be. And then you can just do whatever feels good, and maybe shake the head yes and no. Maybe starting to lift the sit bones a little higher. Maybe shifting the weight slightly more toward the balls of the feet. Let's do 3 more breaths. And then when you are ready, you can slowly begin to roll yourself up to stand 1 vertebrae at a time. Head is last to come up. Shoulders roll back at the top. Palms face out. Mountain pose. Just pause for a moment to settle. Draw the energy up through the arches of the feet. The inner thighs reaching toward each other, activating the legs. Collarbones are broad, fingertips reaching down. Navel tucked in. Head over heart, over heels. Inhale, reach both arms up. Get nice and long from the side bodies, feeling the space from the outside edges of your feet all the way through the fingertips, reaching in opposite directions. And then as you exhale, lead with your heart and swan dive all the way down. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Let's do that once more. Inhale, reach all the way up, getting super long. And then exhale, swan dive all the way back down. Inhale, lengthen the spine, half lift. Exhale, let it go. Plant the hands down. Step your feet back to a plank position. And then option to do any sort of flow. If you want to lower all the way down, take baby cobra. If you want to do the knees, chest, chin thing, you can do that. And then coming forward to your baby. Yeah, perfect. And then pubic bone comes down, heart lifts. Exhale, release. And back to your down dog. 3 big breaths. Let it go. On your next inhale, rise your right leg back and up. So keeping the hips square, letting this leg really reach from the core, and feeling the space from your fingertips through the heel of the right foot or the ball of the foot, whatever feels better. And then as you exhale, with a cat spine, pull your knee in toward your chest as you shift the shoulders over your wrists and place the foot at the top of your mat, using your right hand to get it there. And we'll start with our high lunge. So really reach through the left heel as if your left heel could like stamp on the back of your wall. And feel your inner thighs pull toward each other with an active pelvic floor. Rise up to your high lunge. This is a balancing pose. So whenever you can be near a wall, whenever you feel sturdy, you can stay here. So what was really helpful for me was thinking about my back foot more. And the back of heel reaching back. Yeah, that front knee's over the front ankle. And then your inner thighs are drawing toward each other with your pelvic floor coming up and your lower belly, which really just gives so much more stability. Awesome. Inhale, reach a little higher. And then exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step back to your plank position. Move through your flow, and we meet in a down dog. So again, if you want to do that knees, chest, chin, knees come down. Think about bringing your chest down first, then your chin. And then you inhale, pubic bone comes down, heart lifts up. Exhale, down dog. Awesome. Can let out some big exhales. We'll do that on the other side, warming up our balance. As you inhale, rise your left leg back and up. Really reaching through that active left foot, active left leg. Heart is still reaching toward your right thigh. Awesome. And then as you exhale, start to pull your knee in toward the chest, cat spine, shift the shoulders over wrists, maybe using your left hand to help it there. Left foot comes to the top of the mat. And hitting that balance first, so really reaching back through your back heel, feeling the pelvic floor become active as you rise up to your high lunge. So you're feeling as if your pubic bone and both your hip points are coming closer together. Your back knee is lifting up toward this, the back of your back knee is lifting up toward the ceiling, and that heel is really reaching back. You're keeping this nice big bend in your left leg. Looks great. Feeling this really good stretch down your right hip flexor. Awesome. Inhale to reach. And exhale, come down to frame your front foot. This time, let's step the right foot up to our half of the leg. Exhale. Inhale, rise up to stand, reach the arms out. Maybe take a slight back bend here. And then exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Whew. Tune back in for a moment. We'll do a similar flow. We'll just add a twist in there this time. So when you're ready, inhale the arms, reach up. Exhale as you dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and release. Plant the hands, step back plank. You can move through whichever flow you would like. You can do knee stress chin. You can do chaturanga up dog, lower down, baby cobra. You can just cat cows. Whatever your flow is, we'll just meet in our down dog. Perfect. So now when you're ready, you can inhale, reach your right leg back and up. And then exhale to point your toes, stack the hips and bend the knees. So you get a really big stretch down the inside of your left leg. Just starting to open up your hips to your right. And then squaring your shoulders back down to the mat. One more breath like this. And then you can inhale, square off the hips to the floor, reach your leg long. Hold the knee into the chest and step it to the top of your mat. Again, always you can use the hand to help there. So again, feeling sturdy in your high lunge, the legs first. And then when you're ready, you can rise up. Well, actually, no, I like that. But keep your left hand on the ground and just inhale, reach your right arm up. So now, remember your left leg. Really keep your left heel, yeah, perfect. So the back of the back knee is lifting up toward the ceiling. And feel the crown of your head and your left heel reaching in opposite directions. Awesome. So now see if you can keep everything about the legs the same and the chest the same and just rise up to a standing twist. So your right arm's reaching back behind you, your left arm's reaching forward. Really now feeling the left fingertips and the left heel reaching in opposite directions. Awesome. Hands come to heart center. Option 2, hook the elbow on the outside of the knee. Really twisting out the navel here, letting the navel pull into the spine. Detoxifying all our organs. Sinking a little bit deeper, mom, bring the knee a little bit more over the ankle. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. And then you can exhale, release the hands down, bring your foot, step back to your plank. Option to go to down dog or to move through a flow, whatever you want to do. We'll meet in down dog. Maybe flutter the lips, maybe you sigh it out. We'll do that on the other side. When you are ready, inhale, reach your left leg back and up. Exhale, point the toes, stack the hips, bend the knee. Open up to your left, feel a nice stretch down the inside of the right leg. And then you can square your hips back to the mat, reach the leg long. And then exhale, pull the knee into the chest and step the foot to the top of your mat. Hand help you. And then you can inhale, reach your left arm up to our twist here. No disc. So yeah, now you're feeling your right heel and the crown of your head reaching in opposite directions. Perfect. Feel broadness across the collarbones, lift up and out of your right shoulder. Great. And then when you're ready, feel really sturdy in your legs, and then rise up to a standing twist. So your right arm's reaching forward, left arm's reaching back. Now the back of your right heel and your right fingers are reaching opposite directions. Breathing, probably sweating, using that Ujjayi breath. And then hands come to heart center and come into your twist here. Really trying to bring your hands back to heart center. Navel coming into the spine, still reaching back through your right heel. Falling if you need to. You're okay, right? You're good, okay. And then when you're ready, you can bring your hands back to frame your front foot. Step back to your plank. And move through any sort of flow. If you just want to do cat-cows, if you want to come in a child's pose, you're always welcome to. That was actually a lot of balancing poses that we just did. So it's very common for our balance to be different on any given day. Actually expected. When you're ready, you can look up to the top of your mat and step your feet to meet your hands, halfway lift. And exhale, release, forward fold. Let's take 5 breaths here. Really let it go. You can slightly pull your navel into the spine so you find a little bit more space in your lower back, a little bit more space to fold. Awesome. When you're ready, inhale and rise up to stand. Reach the arms out and up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a moment here. Feel your heartbeat. Check back in. When you're ready, we're just going to step our right foot back to warrior 2 legs. And warrior 2 arms, just warrior 2. So you can reach your arms are reaching in opposite directions. The outside edge of your right foot is firm on the mat. And bending into this front knee so that it stacks over the ankle, feeling the left hip rolling under, opening up. Perfect. You can bring your palms to face away from you. So you reach through the heels of your hand. And feel how that really, it stretches all the muscles around your heart. So it really supports our heart, if we want to do. When you're ready, flip your front palm and inhale to reverse your warrior. Reach up first and then back. Nice big stretch from the left hip crease through the fingertips. And then inhale, come back into center. Take a breath here. And then you can come into extended side angle. So your left elbow just rests on the thigh and you reach your right arm up alongside the right ear. Feeling the right fingertips and outside edge of the right foot reaching in opposite directions. But still keeping that length in the left side body as well. Great. And then you can bring your left hand down to the ground on the inside or the outside of your foot. And then just straighten out your front leg. So we're coming into a triangle pose. You might want to step or inch your back foot in just a touch, but it might be pretty good. And then activate your lower belly to bring yourself up to that space where your side bodies are long, everything's long. Awesome. And then we'll just windmill your right arm down to frame your front foot. And you can bring your back toes to face the front right corner of the mat. So we'll be in pyramid pose for a few breaths. And just fold over your left hamstring. Your forehead can be reaching toward the shin. Let it go. Feel the space from your left heel through the left hip. Getting longer each exhale. And now from here, bring both your hands to the inside of your left foot and just walk your hands to center. So we'll come into our wide leg forward fold. So you can pivot on your feet. Your feet are parallel to each other. Releasing to the floor. And think about all the components of our forward fold that we're all very familiar with at this point. And try to get all of those components here as well. So it's okay if the knees aren't straight. Just keep the energy lifting up through your sit bones. Keep your torso and your head and shoulders really heavy. The weight is shifting more toward the balls of the feet, just to encourage yourself to go forward first so that the hips stay over the heels. Great. Let's do 3 more breaths here. You can do whatever you'd like. You can find movement if that feels better right now. You can find stillness if that's what's asking for. And then you can begin to come up to your halfway lift in your wide leg forward fold, so the core is active. And then inhale to just rise up to stand, bringing your hips forward. That can help with that, yeah. Pause for a moment here. And then when you're ready, you can turn your right toes to face out, and we'll come into warrior two on the other side. So again, noticing all the components of this side, feeling the front knee stacking over that ankle, that hip rolling under. Again, yeah, you can reach through the heels of the hands to just focus on our heart centers a little more. Your back leg is very straight and active. And I always forget to say this on the first side, but a common thing here is that your hips come out. So you want to just push your left hip in so that your shoulders stay stacked over the hips. On your next inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Inhale, come back to center. Take a breath. And then come into your extended side angle. And as you come forward, just remember to keep your side bodies long from the beginning. So you can kind of like reach forward and lengthen the space in between your right hip and the bottom of the right ribs. But really focus on feeling the space from the left foot through the left fingers. Great. And then you can bring your right hand to the floor and just straighten out your front leg so that you're in that triangle pose. Maybe inching the back foot in a few, maybe activating your pelvic floor and lower belly to bring yourself up slightly so that every limb's as long as possible. Perfect. And then you can start to windmill your left arm down, so you're coming to frame your right foot and come into your pyramid pose on this side. So you can adjust your back toes to face the front corner of your mat, and just focus on folding over your right hamstring, feeling the space from the right heel through the right hip, that right hip pulling back slightly. Your whole torso is surrendering, your head surrenders, your neck surrenders. And take about 5 more breaths here. And then you can begin to walk your hands back to your left. So coming into your wide leg forward fold again. Feet are parallel to each other. Surrendering fully. It's our last standing posture. So just letting it all go. Letting the head shake yes and no. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Maybe grabbing the outsiders of the ankles. Maybe reaching in between the legs, whatever feels best. Let's do this for 5 more breaths. And then you can start to bring your heels to turn in toward each other, your toes facing away from each other. And step your feet so they're just a little bit wider than your hips, setting up for our yogi squat or malasana. Bring your hands to heart center, elbows inside of the knees. Sink the hips down as you lift the heart up to your yogi squat. You can always place a block under the hips too, that can be nice. But really bring your wrists in line with your elbows. And lift your heart toward your thumbs. And press the thumbs back toward the heart, into each other. Breathe into the hips. 2 more breaths. And then slowly reach your fingertips forward. Let your hips come to the ground. Release the legs. Shake them out. Do whatever. Awesome. So when you're ready, let's do just two seated poses. So you can cross your left foot or your left leg over your right leg, and you're coming into like a half shoelace pose. So you can bring the top of your left foot to the ground and bring it next to your right hip so that your knees are stacked on top of each other. And you can grab the flesh of your sit bones maybe, pull it back so that you feel yourself sitting down firmly. Inhale as you lift your heart, lift your head, and then exhale as you walk the hands forward and hinge. So we're getting into the hip a little bit here. We're getting into the right hamstring a bit deeper with this extra weight of our leg. Yeah, sitting on something is always helpful. So let's take about 7 breaths. Letting these be slow and deep and intentional breaths. And noticing how the body will start to open up over a few more exhales. Relaxing anything that's not necessary to hold tension on. So your shoulders, your neck, your face. Not forcing yourself too much, just encouraging yourself to surrender rather than to go deeper. It's more of shifting into a mind space of acceptance rather than pressure. A few more breaths. And then you can start to rise back up to your seat. And grab hold of your left knee, so then bring the sole of the left foot to the ground. And we'll do a seated twist. So your left hand can come behind your hip bones. You can inhale, reach your right arm up, get nice and long. And then exhale, twist to your left. So you can, there's some options with the hand. You can hug the knee, you can hook the elbow on the knee, wherever you are at. But we'll do 4 breaths here. So each inhale, let the crown of your head reach higher. Each exhale, twist a little deeper, looking over your left shoulder. Navel pulls into the spine. One more round. And then you can start to bring your head back first and then unwind the rest of the body. Extend your left leg, maybe shake them out. And then we'll do that on the other side. So you can cross your right leg over left and bring the top or the outside top of the foot next to your left hip, and the knees are stacked on top of each other. So this is half shoelace basically. And yeah, then once you feel sturdy in this position, you're gonna feel a weird stretch kind of in the outside right hip. You start to lift your heart, lift your head, and then hinge or fold forward. And this really intensifies the hamstring stretch here with that extra weight of your leg. So this is a 2-for-1 pose. Soften the jaw, soften the neck and shoulders and collarbones. Soften the belly. Allow your inhales to travel into wherever you're feeling this the loudest. Maybe the hamstring, maybe the hips, maybe the back, wherever it is. Inhales travel to that area, and exhale, soften and disperse this area. Let's do 3 more breaths. And then you can begin to rise back up to your seat. Bring your right knee in toward you. The sole of that foot comes to the ground. Your right fingertips can come behind you. Inhale to reach your left arm up. And exhale to twist to your right. Same options. You can hug that knee. You can hug the elbow. Do whatever feels better. As you inhale, let the crown of your head reach up, almost as if there was a string at the crown of your head pulling you up. And then as you exhale, turn your gaze to look over the right shoulder. Maybe the chin even making its way over the right shoulder. Do 3 more breaths. Awesome. And then you can turn your head back to center, turn the shoulders to center, release the legs. And when you're ready, bring the soles of your feet to the ground, and we'll lower down to lay on our backs. So you can lower them down slowly if you want some extra core work, or you can just come down, whatever feels best. You can hug the knees into the chest and just rock a few times side to side, massage your lower back. And then when you're ready, you can reach the soles of the feet up to the ceiling, maybe shake them out. You can reach the arms up, shake them out. And eventually just finding that stillness to really solidify our body and our practice. Allow all of the organs in your stomach to go into their rightful places. The breath traveling effortlessly in and out of the stomach. The 4 corners of your torso pinned and flat against your mat, so that the entire length and the width of your back is against your mat. Allowing your hands and feet to grow a little warm, a little tingly. Allowing anything that doesn't want to be in your body anymore to leave your body through the soles of your feet or through the palms of the hands. And allowing everything that you do want in your body, everything that is serving you in some way, whether it's painful or not, allowing that to stay in your body. A few more moments like this. And then when you're ready, you can reach into happy baby. And grab whatever's available, the toes, the feet, the thighs. You can find movement or stillness. And whenever you are ready, you can let the soles of your feet find each other and let them find the mat slowly, maybe holding onto the thighs to lower them. And come into your reclined butterfly pose. And you're more than welcome to stay here as long as you'd like, maybe for your whole shavasana if that feels best. Or you can always straighten up the legs at any point into your final shavasana. If there is any last minute things that your body's asking for, just honor that. And then when you're ready, you can allow your palms to face up by your side. Allow your legs to be separated. And The feet to be relaxed, the hands to be relaxed. And allow yourself to be fully supported by the mat beneath you and by the earth beneath the mat, even if your money floor is away from the earth, still feeling that connection. Feel your forehead soften and expand. Feel your jaw completely release. And notice how that releases the cheeks and the eyelids even deeper. Let your shoulders be heavy into your mat as your collarbones expand. Tune into your heartbeat. Feel the unique rhythm of your own heartbeat. And allow that to spread across the shoulders or across the chest and down the arms into the hands. Feeling that pulsing of your hands. Feel your heartbeat again. And now let it spread down the torso, down through the lungs and the ribs, into the stomach. Feeling the heartbeat that exists inside the stomach and the solar plexus. It's about 2 inches above your navel. Letting it spread down to the lower belly, to the pelvic floor, through the glutes, down the legs, into the feet. That you feel the pulse running through your entire body. Maybe feeling your chakras be activated so there's no energy blocks throughout the body. And then just allow yourself to rest in this silence for just about another minute to allow this practice to fully soak into your cells. Your body's asking to stay here longer. Just honor that, and you can stay as long as you'd like. And if you're feeling ready to make your way out of this slowly, just follow my cues. Beginning by allowing air to enter the body fully once again. So breathing in from the toes to the fingers to the tips of your head. Maybe taking a big morning stretch, maybe wiggling the body or the head, fingers, the toes. And whenever you're ready, you can find your way to your fetal position on one side. And then gently making your way up to your seat when you're ready. Hands coming into heart center. And just taking this moment to deeply thank yourself for your practice and for your dedication to this practice, bringing us into a new year of practice. May this continue to heal you, and may you bring some of this love to everything that you do and to everyone that you see. Namaste.